There it is. Contact is just, okay, that's the shot. Real confidence inspiring. You're hitting your windows shot after shot after shot. In this bench tested, we're gonna go through the all new SM11 wedges to find out lofts and grinds and how all of those things work together. But we're also gonna look at gapping, because that's super important. A lot of people think about how they need to gap their wedges. We're gonna dive into that. So one of the most important elements of the all new SM11s is the control of center of gravity throughout the wedge line. And when it comes to short game, contact is key. This is why Vokey offers so many grind options. Green's running fast, it's away.
Yep.
I'm trying to either generate spin or I'm trying to kind of bump it into that short grass in front. Is the D grind the best option for trying to hit that shot if I like to hit that a lot?
It depends on how the player approaches it. Depending on how you deliver the club, when you feel that club go through the turf, you're gonna realize that, hey, maybe it got a little stuck. If I were to give you a completely different grind and you were to approach this shot, you may feel something completely different and may not like that. So your confidence then goes down.
That's where I like having more bounce, because you feel you can get aggressive kind of down to the ground. It's not going to dig. Okay, that's the shot.
You mentioned that because of that forward bounce on that wedge, you felt like you had the confidence to really get down into it to generate that spin to stop the ball.
The one thing that I like about the D grind that I've used for a long time is because there's bounce here but not out there, it makes it easier to kind of hit that shot, but it's still not going to dig. Like, to me, that's a pretty comfortable shot.
For you, the D grind, if it's a little bit heavy, you still have all that bounce to help out with the club not sinking into the turf. You look at your worst shots, because the name of the game is minimizing misses. Would you be interested in me putting in a wedge that maybe won't suit your game? I won't tell you what it is. I'll give it to you blind. You just take your normal swing, but we'll see the difference in results when you're hitting that versus the grind you're used to playing.
Would love to see it.
Okay. No peeking, right?
No peeking.
No peeking, because the last thing I want you to do is know what's underneath that wedge and then change your swing to suit it.
If you're looking at these different grinds from the top, you cannot tell the difference.
Did you change anything in your swing?
I didn't change anything.
Say you're going to a retail store and you're just, I need a Vokey wedge, and they go, I need 60 degree. Okay, well, here you go. You don't hit it, you don't try, you don't talk about it. You could come out and start doing that and you go, well, I hate Vokey wedges, or I'm a terrible golfer. No, maybe you just don't have the right grind in your hands to help out. Let me ask you this, you got away with that shot, but how's your confidence feel after that first swing? You feel like you start to lose it a little bit, you're trying to find something.
I'm trying to change something immediately.
We're no longer fitting the club to your swing, you're fitting yourself to try and make the club work.
I feel I have to try so hard. It felt slow, like it felt like it grabbed.
Look at all the grass you're taking up with it as well, right?
Yeah. If I'm gonna guess, is it the T or is it the M?
It's the T. People may say it looks very similar in shape, but you can see how narrow that front sole is and how aggressive the trail edge is. And then if you're looking at the bounce, you can see that this has no bounce.
The D is so much more angled on the front.
Yep.
And this has very little.
Yep. So that's where you lose that fear or that confidence of, hey, I can get down after this. You no longer can do that with this wedge anymore.
When it comes to wedges, if you can, try them out in the sand. We're gonna work on the one where I would normally use my lob wedge, which is I just got fit for, which is the D grind, and that is a short-sided bunker shot. Feels really confident just to be able to hit down into it.
Down into it, yeah. You don't have that fear. Notice when you start to open up that wedge just a little bit, it starts to skip out of that firmer bunker that you're used to, right?
Yeah.
So you're increasing the effective bounce on that wedge, and that's sometimes where you get that little skip coming out of it. So I mentioned, hey, let's go a little more square. That'll be able to get that leading edge in the sand a little bit easier.
Oh, see, now I'm getting the hang of it out of the sand. Oh, come on. I think the most beneficial learning part of this process was realizing where my misses are gonna go. Also understanding how that grind is going to work for the different shots I'm trying to hit. So now that I've got the wedge for my short game shots, it's not a club that I'm gonna make a lot of full swings with. So now let's take a look at my highest lofted club that I'll make a full swing with.
I like to say, hey, if we removed the numbers, the letters, everything off this club, and we were to assign it a letter old school way, right? This would be L for lob wedge. You go down to your 54, 56, and we add one letter, it'll be S, your sand wedge. And then the next club after that, if it's a 52, a 50, a 48, whatever it may be, that's your gap wedge. As we're gapping from your sand wedge to your, say, pitching wedge. We just want to make sure that we have a job for all the wedges. You currently play a 54 degree, correct?
Yes.
So how far in your mind do you hit that 54 degree?
I say really comfortable. I like hitting it about 85 yards. I don't take a full swing with it.
Okay.
And for me, that 100-yard gap starts to move into that right at 50 degrees.
Whatever your sand wedge is, I don't care if it's a 56, a 55, a 54, 53, we have to get to that 85 number where you feel like 85. Whatever the 100-yard number is for you, we're gonna make sure we find that with the correct loft.
Now in full shots, we're talking about spin control, not necessarily maximizing spin all of the time to make sure that I'm getting the distance that I want.
Spin rate, 8,500, launch angle, 26.9. We're pretty happy there.
Maximizing height is not the ideal way to hit a wedge shot. You want the launch angle to be half of the loft. So if you're using a 60, you want it to be roughly 30 degrees. Now the other part of this as well is I've gone from the D grind in the lob wedge to a D grind in the 54. I know that I like to hit a lot of those shots where my hands are forward again. I'm going to use that bounce.
You talked about prioritizing certain shots, right? When we talk about, you know, a 54, say 50 degree being a full swing shot, we want to make sure we prioritize that over anything else. We're not going to go and hit a 44 degree or 46 degree around the green because you don't do that.
Yeah.
So you have to prioritize the shots that you're going to utilize the club for on the golf course.
I personally like to play kind of that hands forward drawing shot with my lob wedge. I also like to play it with my sand wedge too. So I'm really curious to see where the distance comes out hitting this shot as well as the ground interaction, which is super important when it comes to finding those grinds.
Said 85, 90, right?
Yeah.
That was 87.
Oh, like it.
You're really happy with this. Everything's working out. Turf interaction feels great. Divots are nice and flush. You're getting the distance you're looking for. You said, hey, I want to hit 85, 90 yards. You hit 87. You mentioned about a 100-yard shot, correct? So next club we're going to grab is making sure that we're at the 100 yards we're looking for.
So we figured out the lob wedge, the sand wedge, and now we're moving into the gap wedge. For me, that's a 48 degree bent to 50.
99.3, so pretty close.
I like the feeling of knowing that I can get right into the turf, get a super clean divot like that, and contact is just, there it is.
That was 99.3. We're there.
The shot that I just hit, seeing that divot right there, real confidence inspiring.
That's what we try to do with a wedge fitting is build confidence, right? We took away your confidence by giving you the T grind. So
Sure
when we build up that confidence again, you can, okay, I can swing and I know what the club's gonna do for me.
Now it's time to move into a pitching wedge. Now this is gonna be an interesting one because a lot of people like to play their matching set pitching wedges, where in a lot of times, if you're looking for a specialty wedge, you're gonna get a lot more option and the ability to control your shot while going to an actual specialty wedge. And Vokey has a couple options. I know there's the 44, one that I've tended to use in the past. There's also 46. This also leads into something interesting that we haven't talked about yet, and that is progressive grooves. Lob wedges and sand wedges have grooves that are designed for slower impact speeds as well as less than full swing shots. Whereas the gap wedges and pitching wedges have grooves that have been designed more for full swing shots. So you're hitting your windows, you're hitting your distances, shot after shot after shot.
Here's your 44. Same specs as what you currently play. What's a happy number for you?
A happy number, I would say, is, say 115, 120. I'd like to see that.
Nice. 115.4.
All right. That felt right.
Yeah, and what number are you looking for again?
It's 115 to 120.
115.2.
There we are. You're good at this. Now we can call it a day.
114.8. So consistency, 115.2, 114.8, pretty good.
Now I know that I have a pitching wedge, a gap wedge, a sand wedge, and a lob wedge. They're all gonna go the distances they're supposed to, find the flight that they're supposed to, and get that extra consistency that I wanna see from the shots that I hit.